there are two motivational points that really inspired me to study this topic. The topic is the shortest topic is one Enoch in Jude and the Ethiopian Orthodox Church canon. So it's a tripolar focused study. As an evangelical Protestant member in Ethiopia, we think ourselves very much different from the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, where the dominant church in Ethiopia. So we always think that is, we raised up or we've been told that we are so different from one another. And when I did my master's degree at the Ethiopian Graduate School of Theology, that was the first time I studied about Second Temple period literature. And through that course, we knew that many books which have been relevant to the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, not only relevant, some books which shaped the Ethiopian Orthodox Church in general and partly Ethiopian Christian identity were considered as heretical books in Ethiopia. And that course, reading those books, especially the Book of Enoch and the Jubilees, of course, many others, and the influence of those books, and that these two books are canonical in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, really raised a lot of questions in my mind. I started to ask how on earth this, what we call heretical book, can be canonical in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. And I started to read in depth, and that created lots of questions in my mind. And at the same time, I used to preach and train in local churches, not only in the Lutheran Church. Here in Ethiopia, Protestants are very close to one another among all evangelical churches, especially among the youth. One major question arising from them was, what is the difference between Protestants and Orthodox Bible? So the canon became an issue, and I tried to understand what is the canon of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, and I couldn't really get adequate answer. And a bold teacher for the youth with first degree and studying second degree do not have uh, adequate response for that question. And I've been struggling myself. What's the canon of the Orthodox Church? Well, of course, we have a very clear understanding of the canon of the Catholic Church. Catholic is very a tiny minority in Ethiopia. No one is asking about that question. The question is basically about the Ethiopian Orthodox Church canon. So I started to study to respond to those questions to the youth at the grassroots level. Those questions became my own question. And then that course really triggered my lots of questions came to my mind, and that is how I started. So even I reshaped my MTH thesis studying angelology and demonology in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, and how did we become so different in our understanding of the angels. And I did that, and reading for that work, I found out the Book of Enoch should be studied in depth. So, and the gateway for me was the Book of Jude. And Jude, when I started to study the canon, the issue of canonical books came, and the Book of Enoch is inspired and quoted by Jude as an inspired scripture. So that was another question. If the New Testament used 1 Enoch as an inspired book, what does that mean? So what I found gradually was Jude and Ethiopian Orthodox Church canon, both of them have something common about the book of Enoch. So that is how I came to formulate my thesis. So ecumenism is in it, besides the book of in-depth study of the book of Enoch, that takes me to the entire world of Second Temple period literature. My study on the book of Jude is very much connected to New Testament studies and how New Testament authors used the intertestamental literature, of course, how they used the Hebrew Bible or the Old Testament, and I then go as far as what is the canon of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. That was very key to me. Uh, until I did my own research, there was only one article available on the Book of Enoch's, no, not the Book of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church canon. So I used that article as authoritative because every scholar is quoting and referring to that article. But later on, from my own study, I found out that article is completely misleading. So I made very in-depth research, and that was one of my best contribution for the global scholarship. I published that as an article besides my PhD. Even before I complete my PhD, I started to publish, and that was my best publication I ever had for international scholarship. So
Yeah.
it is tripolar,
Yeah.
tripolar. So 1 Enoch is there. It has lots of things behind. In the New Testament wing, we have the Book of Jude, which I did in depth, and the EOTC, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, the Ethiopian Orthodox Tawahedo Church, is there, and that brings to in conversation with the Ethiopian evangelicals as well. So it's tripolar focused. Yeah, to mention that I now became a member of what the global community called Enoch Seminar. So that's a big community. And I think we are a couple of people from Ethiopia attending that international forum and contributing in that as authoritative scholars. So yes, for the international, it has a lot of meaning on this particular research. And of course, I've published about 6, 7 articles in that area. Again, the impact of my PhD studies at the grassroots level, I would say there are 3 major impacts. The first one is the content itself, the content of the research. I really got adequate findings on all my questions and the questions of many. And now I'm presenting this at various seminars, trainings, courses at various levels. And my research go as far as very contextual issue in Ethiopia. The major challenge is being ethnicity right now, fragmentation, division in the church. But this research is about ecumenism and appreciative ecumenism that calls for unity where the research finding shows that what what we have in common is much, much more than what we have in difference, what that would divide us. So I used this various seminars at local level, national level, at congregations, of seminary students, and everywhere. So there are lots of content in it to make use of it. In fact, Ethiopian community is more like any other African community. We are more of oral community. So I use this material mainly in trainings and seminars rather than publication and posting somewhere. Uh, yeah, so the impact, the direct content impact is there. The second impact of my PhD is the encounter of the entire academic world, so that to become a professor at a seminary, uh, involved with other faculty members, shaping Bible schools, and so on. So that gives you the academic know-how, how to do it, and in what level. I mean, curriculum development, course descriptions, all those things. I became one of few people who can really shape the church at local level at the time of need. We really don't have enough school, enough teachers, enough ministers, because Ethiopian churches are very, very much growing. It's a tremendous growth, not only in the Ethiopian Evangelical Church Mekane Yesus, where I serve the Lutheran Church, but also other churches. So we are only few who had the chance to study abroad and earn a PhD, and most of the actual academic work, developing curriculum and shaping the theological education in the country is at our hands and at our disposal. So my PhD study really helped me to be part of that few community, shaping and directing theological education in Ethiopia. That is the second. In fact, the third one is the PhD itself gives you status of being a leader of higher theological education. Currently, I'm serving as the president of the Ethiopian Evangelical Church Mekane Yesus Seminary. So this is the largest seminary of the largest Lutheran church. So it's because of the PhD I am appointed. In fact, with many other things, the PhD enabled me to take this position where the Lord, I'm just witnessing the Lord is doing a lot of things at the seminary, and the PhD really helped me in this regards as well. Yes, PhD studies, especially from African point of view, we passed through many difficulties, but it was, I mean, uh, theological education, the present and the future shape and direction of theological education, which is necessitating tremendously right now for this part of the world, this part of the church is indispensable. So at any cost, I strongly encourage our PhD students at different parts of the world to be part of this community. Um, yeah, they say the PhD gives you a license to become a community of its own, but a community of humble servants, but given special task and responsibility to shape and guide and direct the future of theological education. Without having your PhD as a license, I assure you, you fail to do a lot of things. Uh, it gives you more than anything. It gives you a license uh, in the global system, academic system, theological system. So you become licensed and authoritative to shape and engage in all kinds of theological activities, theological education activities. That is crucial for the church today, and for the mission of God. I strongly believe we are in a system. The system really demands this license to move forward. So I strongly encourage our current students to work hard and come up with their degrees and be part of this community so that we all go work together uh, to contribute to the church for God's mission.